President Trump's travel ban has been dealt another defeat. The Ninth Circuit Court unanimously says the president's executive order violates immigration law. The president wants to temporarily ban immigration from 6 countries with Muslim majorities: Syria, Iran, Libya, Sudan, Yemen, and Somalia. Attorney Seth Berenzweig joins us now to talk about the Ninth Circuit's latest move. Seth, let's start with the basics. So why did they rule against the ban and uphold this injunction?
Well, this was really a double loss for the president. It ruled, as did the Fourth Circuit on the East Coast recently, that the executive order providing the immigration ban is illegal and therefore kept it frozen. But the even bigger problem for the president was the grounds. It found the same result through a different route. Rather than deeming it unconstitutional because it was discriminatory on the basis of religion, the court found that it was separately illegal under the Immigration and Nationality Act, which provides that in some circumstances the president is not authorized to commit discrimination on the basis of nationality. So the Ninth Circuit here ruled that because of discrimination on the basis of nationality that he violated a statute. That's a huge setback for the president, because now you have 2 rulings, one from the East Coast and one from the West Coast, that attacks it from completely different angles, which makes it even more problematic for the president as he tries to put this into action.
In this one, the president's tweets came into play as well. How?
Well, for the president, he tends to, as we may know, shoot himself in the foot, and he has this unique propensity to issue things on Twitter. He said a couple of days ago, right before the ruling came out, that I don't care what anybody says and I don't care what the Justice Department says, this is a travel ban, plain and simple. Well, the only problem with that is that the Justice Department has made it clear in its position to the courts that they're saying it's not a ban, but that it's a temporary pause because they want to just simply have a period of review to determine whether there are certain procedures that are in place for vetting. Well, the problem is if it's an absolute outright ban, then there's no need for analysis and review. So the subtext in this situation is that the president may have shot himself in the foot by pulling away the credibility as he was waiting for this critical decision by the Ninth Circuit.
And the court also cited a tweet from earlier this month after the London attack where he said that's right, we need a travel ban for certain dangerous countries, and continued on with that with his tweet. So obviously the things he's had to say on Twitter coming into play. We've got a Fourth Circuit ruling, a Ninth Circuit ruling now, both upholding those injunctions. Right. Where do we go from here? What happens next?
Well, at this point, the Justice Department has made it clear that they are laser focused on filing an appeal to the United States Supreme Court. They've already filed an appeal on the Fourth Circuit decision out of the East Coast, and now they will certainly go to the United States Supreme Court. Under the rules of the Supreme Court, only 4 justices need to be able to sign off on the appeal to be accepted. So given the fact that this has stark national security implications, no matter what side of the issue you're on, the Supreme Court is likely to accept this appeal, and this is headed down for a final battle in the Supreme Court here in Washington.
Now, didn't they also appeal to the Supreme Court, considering that the request, the president wanted it to be reinstated while they're considering what to do here? Do we know when we may hear on that?
Right. Well, the president has asked that there be an emergency issuance of injunctive relief to allow this ban to be put back into place while the final decision may be issued by the Supreme Court. The likelihood between that is slim and none, and I think slim already left town. It's not going to be likely that they will win that, especially now that the president has tweeted that this is an outright ban. But I do believe that the Supreme Court will accept this on appeal. We will probably have a decision from the Supreme Court on this issue. Remember, it's extremely rare for the President of the United States to lose battles on issues related to national security. The federal courts have made it clear that it is very rare for courts to delve into and lift up the hood on micromanaging whether the president is right on issues of national security, which is one of the reasons why this result in the Ninth Circuit is so surprising.
Attorney Seth Berenzweig, thank you for your time.
You bet.